Hello again everybody, Boyd here and welcome back. I'm here today with an update on our 1-to-1 scale Nomad build. I'm working on the top plate here. You can see we've got these little greeley details that we glued in place, and all these items are 3D printed. The entire model is 3D printed. So a couple things I want to tackle today. You can see where I glued these little greeley parts on there that we didn't get a really nice perfect seal all the way around. We got a little edges going on there, a little bit of seams in between the surface that doesn't look right. So I'm going to be working to get those filled in and cleaned up. And then the second thing I want to talk about, you can see that these parts have been 3D printed. The entire model is 3D printed. And now that I know a little bit more about this, I can tell by looking at this part that they used a really low line count setting on their printer when they printed this. That means you're going to get thicker lines here and they're going to show up more. The finer you make those, the less they show up, but the more it increases your print time. So I can kind of see why he used this strategy here, because this was an absolutely huge print. You know, I showed you guys the this whole thing stacked up a couple of videos ago, and it's a huge model. And if you did it at really high resolution, this would probably take a month to print the whole thing. So I can kind of see why he went with some of the settings he did, but we want to clean this up and make this look a little better. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get these little seams taken care of. I've got my little tube filled with perfect plastic putty here. I just took it and put it right into this Dixie cup and diluted a little bit with water. I just cut it enough to where the syringe will pick it up. That's, you know, I want it as thick as possible and not too runny. Actually, because if we don't do that when we put it in here, it's just going to shrink and really not do anything, okay, if it's too watery. And we may have to do 1 or 2 applications. This we'll just have to see. But after we get all that done, I'm going to come back and I'm going to prime this again. And then we're going to spray this with some 2K automotive clear. I've mentioned a couple little thoughts I've had about that, about these 3D printed models. 2K clear is a lot thicker than regular, you know, spray can clear coat or whatever, you know, the different kinds of clear coat that are out there. And so it'll go a long way to hide these styration marks. We'll put 1 more coat of high build primer on this. I'll spray this down with some 2K clear, and then we'll see how it looks. It may take 1 or 2 coats of that. We'll have to see. And then maybe have to hit it with 1 more coat of high build primer, and then we'll sand it after that, and it should come out pretty good and get rid of most of this these lines that we see here and make this to where you can't tell it's a 3D printed part. That's kind of my goal. I'm trying to do that with the entire model. But let's go ahead and get these seams taken care of first. I'm just going to go around these edges real quick and start pushing filler in there, my putty, and we'll clean up any of the excess mess here with a Q-tip and some water. But this stuff works really good because, like I said, it's water soluble, and any mess we make, we can just wipe it right off after, even after it's fully dried. Okay. Once you prime over the top of this and paint it and everything, it'll never break down. It's not, you know, it has the basic same principles as any other kind of putty that's out there, in case you're worried about that. It won't break down over time. I've built models with this stuff for years and never had a problem with it coming apart or falling off later. It's really good stuff. I really like it because it sands really nice too. It feather edges and sands out really nice and doesn't clog up your sandpaper when you go to clean it up. So we'll just work our way around here and get these all filled in. Then we'll let it dry and see if we have to redo it, because sometimes it will shrink back in there and still leave a little bit of a gap. Some of the gaps here are pretty big. A lot of people might let this go, but I just want to go the extra mile for my client here to, you know, make sure he sees it's a nice. We did our absolute best to try to make this as good as we can make it look. That one there I'm not going to worry about too much. You can't see much around those edges, but these big flat ones you can definitely see. You could do this with your fingers too, but or some kind of another applicator tool, but I just find this little method works really good, and I got pretty good control over it when I'm putting it down, not slopping it on there too thick. Looks good so far. Let's do this last inner edge here. And I'm just going to kind of look here and see if we see any. I do see a few spots in this surface here where these styration marks are really deep. So we're going to actually let a little bit of filler run in those. You could use, you know, putty on this entire thing, but that would be a lot of putty and a lot of time sanding. This method that I'm going to show you here with this 2K clear, you're basically not going to have to do any sanding at all. I've been looking around at different, you know, 3D printing things and stuff like that, and a lot of these guys are using what they call a, you know, it's like a liquid resin, and they're pouring it on there in a clear form. But that stuff is really expensive, and it looks like it makes a heck of a mess. I don't think many of them have ever tried that 2K automotive clear before. You know, you can just put that in a gun and spray it, and like I said, it goes a long way in getting rid of a lot of these little. It'll feel much better than even high build primer, probably like 3 or 4 times better than that. So you might have to do 2 or 3 coats, but you know, it's a lot less messy, it's a lot less expensive, and you can sand it after you're done, and then you can paint any color you want over the top of it. You can either go back and make it dull or change the color entirely and then paint another seal coat over the top of that of your whatever kind of clear you want to use. And the only time I wouldn't recommend using that is if you got something with some really you know, tiny little scribe lines or super intricate little details on the surface, because it would probably bury all of that. Right? You can't use it on a surface like that. So, but let's let this dry for a few minutes, you guys. We'll come back and we'll give it a little bit of a wipe down. We'll see how much gap we still see. I think I'm going to go across the back side of this one here too. I can see a little bit of edge on that one. Okay, and then we'll get it a little bit more cleaned up and go on from there. Be right back. Okay, well, I finished up getting all the putty put on our greeley detail here on the top part of our Nomad body. You can see it turned out a lot better after I put another coat of primer on it. I'm just using this high build primer here from Duplicolor. You can get this at pretty much any auto parts store. You can see there it says their high build formula. So this is kind of a filler primer. And you can see we made most of those little styration lines go away. There's just a little bit of it left there, but this whole thing is looking a lot better. So we're going to finish up by covering this with some automotive 2K clear, and that'll take care of that. I've done the same kind of prep work here on Nomad's head. You can see it's looking pretty much the same. It's got just a little bit of those little line details left. I sanded this whole thing with 180 grit and then finished up with 320 grit, and it's got 2 coats of the primer on there. And I think we're getting pretty close. So I think after a coat or 2 of the clear, we'll have these looking really, really nice. Now it's going to be really glossy after we finish with the 2K clear coat, and we don't want that. So our choice will be to either spray a coat of the matte clear on top of it, or we can spray it down with another coat of the primer if we want to. We'll just kind of see how it looks at that point. But let me get the gun set up. I'll have to mix up the clear. We got to mix the clear with the activator, and we'll get it set up in the gun. We'll come back and we'll spray this and see how it looks. I'll be right back with that. Alright everybody, we're over in the painting area now, and you can see I'm getting ready to spray down my parts. I've wiped everything down really good to get the dust off of it. I'm using this 2-part automotive 2K clear, it's called. You can see we have the 2 products here. The one on the right is actually nascent as well. I just put it in a different can because the original can came in a round quart size that was hard to get the paint out of there, so I just put it in that little can instead. But they're both nascent products. You can find them basically at O'Reilly's. You go in there and talk to their counterman there, and he'll have a catalog you can look at, because they don't have it out on their regular floor. So you can ask about it there. It works really good. Like I said, it's a awesome durable finish, and it'll add a really nice high gloss shine, and you can decide if you want to keep that or if you want to dull it down. But the main thing we're doing is putting a nice thick coat on here to get rid of these print lines. And you can see you can see the shadow on this part here just has a little bit of that left. So I'm going to go ahead and start spraying them down, you guys. I'm going to work with this round one first, and we'll just kind of put a nice even coat on here. letting it build up a little at a time. Don't want to go too much and get a run or anything like that. Okay, we've got the first layer put on here, you guys. Just kind of smoothing everything out here. I'm just, taking my time here. I don't want to pile it on too thick right off the bat and get a run. So it kind of sit for a second. Okay, now we're going to hit the square piece here. Just using my light to see if I've got any dry spots. Alright, you guys, well, I'm really happy with that. So we're going to back off now and let this cure up for a little while and come back and see how it looks. Be right back in a little bit. Okay, you guys, well, I finished letting the clear coat dry. I came back and took a look at it. It looked pretty good, so I sanded it all down like I talked about with 320 and got it all scuffed in, put a couple more coats of primer on it, and things came out really good here, you guys. I finished by top coating with some satin clear, but our parts are looking 100% better here, you guys. You can see the difference. All those huge, line gaps are all gone and everything. The little greeley detail parts here on the bottom are looking a lot smoother and a lot more like they're molded into the surface like I wanted. And the main body's pretty much done. I'm going to do a little bit of a wash on these little side panels here. So all I've got left now to do the paint work is the bottom section here. Now this particular part right here, I'll run my finger over it. You can see this one is by far the worst of all the parts. I mean, the styration lines there are just absolutely huge. So I think what I'm going to do with this is actually fill this in with a little bit of putty and just sand it down, and then maybe a couple of coats of high build primer will take care of that. The side piece down here, I'm going to do the same thing, just a coat of clear coat, and that'll take care of that. Got a couple little greeley details that are going to go on here. So the next step that you're going to see in the next video on this, you guys, is working in all the electronics. I've got everything figured out. I'm working with Tenant Controls again to have a sound system that can make the lights flash whenever the voice comes through. We got some lighting up here on the top, and then we've got this kind of specific green lighting down here on the bottom and on the panels that flash kind of randomly. And my client wanted to have all of those panels, even though they're individual on one side, they have to match all the way around so they're not all just flashing random. So I needed to have a control board for that. Otherwise we could have just done that with some regular blinking LEDs. But we'll get that all worked out. It'll take a couple days for that to get here. And then I'll come back probably towards the end of the week here with another video showing you the electronics and the lighting going in, and I'll have the rest of the painting done. I'm going to be going with a rechargeable lithium-ion battery here in the bottom, and I'm going to have to work in some spot where I can hide like a charging jack for that so that he doesn't have to take this all apart whenever he needs to recharge it. Maybe we can hide it underneath of something or come up with something here, but we'll get all that figured out, you guys, and we'll be back again in a couple days with a little bit more work on the Nomad. I've got a new video coming out midweek here for a new project I'm working on, just a quick little, small, fun little project. I think you guys might be interested in it. It's a little diorama that I'm working on, kind of telling the story of a really unique story that I found online when I was looking at some World War II stuff. So we'll show you that in the next couple of days. All right, you guys, well, take care out there, and happy modeling, everyone. We'll see you next time.